Hey everybody, I'm Ling Epson, a leadership coach. So today I want to talk to you about how to give feedback that is kind and direct. So when it comes to feedback, I'm noticing that leaders fall into two groups. So the first group are leaders who knows the importance of feedback but find it very difficult to be direct. The second group are leaders who are not afraid of giving feedback but have been told they may be too direct and slightly hurtful when they deliver that feedback. So the model I lean on to give feedback is that is kind and direct is the get give merge go model. So it has never failed me. My coaching clients have also used this model with great success. So I'm assuming you've done the relevant investigation, collected data, have examples to back your feedback. If not, we need to add in an investigation step before you get into the model. So very quickly, the investigation step is really the first step you would do when someone gives you feedback for your direct report is to investigate if that feedback is a personal bias or feedback that's very important to deliver. So the things you could do to investigate that feedback is to insert yourself in meetings, maybe pair programming with that person so you can really observe their behavior in real time. Those are the best. Another one is collect feedback from their peers. Another one is to look at their current or past work. So, for example, GitHub repo, past projects documentation, past code review comments. Once there's enough data and enough context, then you can start to use the get, give, merge, go model to deliver your feedback. So let's start. So get, what does get mean? Get means to get them to share what happened from their perspective. So this is a critical step that will allow them to feel that they're being heard first. Once they feel that they've been heard, they're more likely to be open to what you have to say. And if you skip this step and start giving them feedback, their defenses will go up almost as if to protect themselves from imminent danger. So no matter how well you deliver the feedback after, no matter how well intentioned you are, trust can be eroded. And for some employees, building that trust again is much, much harder. So please do not skip this step. Give. So give them your perspective now of what happened. So get is for them to share it from their perspective. Give is now it's your turn after you've listened to give them your perspective. So this is where you explain with specific examples, data, firsthand observation that you've collected during investigation, how their behavior, their action had a negative impact. So it is important to stress here that your feedback should be about their actions and behaviors that had created negative consequences, not about them personally. For example, this is what not to do is to say, hey, you're not a good software engineer, because that's a very personal comment. But rather, a really good example of giving an example of their behavior and action that has a negative consequence could be the code you've committed created a severe performance issue. So as you can tell, it's not personal. It's really about their behavior. It's really about their work. It's about their action. So now that you've done get, you've done give, the next one, the third one is merge. So this is where both parties start asking questions to really understand, dive deeper, so that both perspectives can be understood further. So this allows your direct report to explain their situation further now that they've heard, some of, in light of those new information, in light of the negative consequences. So ideally, this is also the stage where they've gained further insights as to, oh, wow, their actions have created some of these negative impact. And in some cases, they're not able to come to that realization. They're not able to realize or have an aha moment. Wow, the some things that they've done has created a negative impact. So this is merging is also when you can explain the situation differently, allow the space for them to ask questions until they understand. Because if they don't understand how their actions or behaviors had a negative impact, any further conversations to change that behavior will be useless. So the last step is go. So go is to guide them on the next steps. Go is where you help them come up with action steps to either correct their behavior and actions or to prevent similar situations from happening. So the goal of this stage is that your direct report should leave the meeting with the realization of the impact of the actions and specific things they can do to change their behavior. So if appropriate, this is where you can add a timeline for their action steps or expectation of when both of you will connect again to follow up with this feedback. So I have a blog post on exactly this model with a fictitious example of a feedback conversation using this model. So feel free, go on to linkabsent.com and search for this blog post slash how to give feedback. If you cannot find it, I'll put also a link in the description below this video if you need a little bit more guidance on how to really use this model. So after giving this delivery, after using the Get, Give, Merge, Go model, to follow up, you could attend the next few meetings to observe their behavior and then to continually giving that feedback, especially if they're making changes and they're doing a good job, because positive reinforcement is great to give them feedback to know, yes, do more of that and less of something else. And lastly, be patient. Behavior change is not easy, especially for team members who are used to behaving in a certain way. And especially so for team members, this might be the first time they've received really constructive feedback. All right, I hope this video is helpful. Please leave any comments if there's questions to this model, if you have any other observation or anything when it comes to using this model. All right, thank you. Bye.